Pool C, and it is Canada who have shown some really promising signs. A team on the rebuild against Zambia, making their own little bit of Commonwealth Games history on day one, scoring their first ever try in their second Com Games appearance. The Canadians were led by Phil Burner, their coaches Henry Paul and Israel Kulumba. Nice leader for Zambia, the number 4 Lawrence Kashiku, the try scorer for them in their game against Wales yesterday. Vareni, referee in charge for this Pool C encounter. Phil Burner, most experienced in this Canadian side, still only 26 years of age, but been around a wee while now. Here's how the pool standings are. Canada looking good for a place in the quarterfinals. They really challenged Fiji late last night in the final game of the day. Canada and Zambia underway in Pool C, and it is Canada and Cooper Coates. You always feel like you have to say both names. Works well together. Flying early on. Josiah Moore has been a welcome addition back in this Canadian side. Surgery earlier in the year on the leg. Back in the team. And he's looked full of running. Zambia, though, they've got some good athletes, really good athletes. Just need some resource and exposure. Incredibly talented side. Brock Webster sends it wide and forward.
Yeah, right idea there. Try and get the ball into space. But unfortunately, he was flirting with the forward pass there.
Hey, defense now, chop, yeah? Chop, yeah? Let's go, Dave.
You can see as soon as it's released from his arms, she's got that forward edge about it. Didn't quite have the distance either.
Crouch.
And presents a great opportunity here for Zambia straight away. Lawrence Kashiku, I say the try scorer, first ever try for Zambia. Competed in Gold Coast in 2018, in and out it goes. He's a big part of the team. Kashiku.
Hands out. Clear release
penalty.
first. Clear release first.
Some very clear communications coming from the Canadians as well. Here's Edmund Humayua, who I believe some French clubs have been looking at him, and what a moment that would be. That looked a little flat, that pass as well, but on the wraparound, it's good for Zambia. They got one yesterday, and now they get their second ever try in the Commonwealth Games. A huge moment for Melvin Banda.
Absolutely huge moment. Second try ever in the Commonwealth Games, and up against Canada. What a way to start. Like you say, that pass out wide was definitely flirting with the flatness, but they got away with it. Good bit of footwork and gas at the end to finish off.
Bualia was able to stand in the tackle and offload. And Melvin Banda has developed really rapidly in this team and gets a great try for Zambia, and they take the lead 5 points to 0 over Canada.
Canada are going to have to be aware now. They want to challenge at that ruck, but they're going to have to be really clear whether the tackle releases and the second player goes in, because the referee's got their mark there.
Error from the kickoff from Zambia. Canada are able to play on through Nick Allen. Mora it is, standing right on the left. And now up through the middle is Coates, able to stand in the tackle, offloading to Burner and Webster. And now some space for Nick Allen. Big, powerful man darting down the short side. Lockie Kratz able to just keep himself and the ball in field, but it's put Brock Webster under pressure. But the tackle creeping up from Zambia. Big man on little man. Kratz to tap. Burner looking to try and crash and barge his way over, but solid, rock-solid defence from Zambia. Allen, referee playing advantage for Zambia being up offside, and it lands on the end of the chain for Josiah Mora. Great to have him back. Great to have him on the score sheet.
Canada really could have done that one phase earlier after they initially tested the blind side of that ruck. They were lucky really to keep hold of the ball because there were plenty of Zambia players trying to turn that over. It was another short contact. They'd already shortened the defensive line, so could have gone one earlier. Just fine margins, trying to be as clinical as possible.
It's a wonderful story to Sayamora, supported by the Toronto Inner City Rugby Foundation as a kid. Helped to pay for some academy teams and support his progress as a player. And he made his World Series debut as an 18-year-old, now established in this side. That's what you can do, give the kid a dream and a bit of support. Play on the world stage. 5 points apiece. Coates sent it down, but a player in front of the kicker. And that a couple of times today, actually.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, they're really hot on the restarts now. Got to take it from within your half. Got to be behind the kicker.
And that's a real fundamental. Here goes Zambia again, though. Straight up route one. The offload's a beauty for Lawrence Kushika. There's a scramble on the ground. They're going to have to look. Let's hope he got it down.
Oh, that's the offload of dreams. When you are running at full pace and it's just floated up in front of you.
Can you confirm try, no try, please?
Looking to confirm try, yes or no.
Thank you.
Oh. Well, there's no separation, but we need to see contact of the ball with the floor.
Hands underneath
Yes.
at the initial landing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Tax, you can award a try.
Thank you.
Wow.
You may award the try.
Yeah.
Try given. Lawrence Kashiku gets Zambia's second of the match, his second of the tournament. And he puts them back in front.
Can I get a ball from the sideline?
This would be a big upset. But this is exactly what the crowd are cheering for. They've been supporting the underdogs all tournament. And when you see scores like that, of course you're going to support them.
Converted from in front as well, so 12 points to 5. Zambia send it down and find open territory. Webster had to track right back to his own try line. And try and create something on his own, a little playmaker, nice right foot step as well from Brock Webster. That lands for Zambia. That offload just about sticks, can't pick it up off the ground as it bobbled along. Boy, they're playing with great confidence though.
They really are. Just feel like that was a great breakthrough, really good dancing feet there from Webster, but there was no one on his shoulder. They were stood too far off, but there were plenty of Zambia players there just ready to pick off that pass.
Bind! Set!
Let off for Canada. We just need to settle here, forcing the issue a wee bit. Away goes Coates, stepping through the Zambian defence this time. Cooper Coates chase coming across. Angled run is clever from Coates, using the full width and length of the field. Coates just dragged down 4 metres short. Great support run by Burner though. Has to be released. Ball is out. And it's there for Lockie Kratz. Just knocked away into a Zambian hand.
He tapped it forward. He was in an offside position.
Oh, a penalty. Canada instead. And a yellow card. Really unfortunate for Mualia.
Tough lines.
Canada, just a little bit of patience now with the one-man advantage, and Mora will get a second. Now they go end to end. Zambia not making life easy at all for the Canadians.
That was such a scrambled D. It was really frantic. They absolutely swarmed the player. They got a good defensive shot, but unfortunately that infringement came. Player down. Good execution from Canada, just putting the ball through the hands, knowing they've got that overlap. Easy stuff.
Conversion is successful as well, so Canada square things up on the stroke of half-time. 12 all, Canada, Zambia.
Let's come close to us up. Let's count them on defense. Okay? Let's not run. Start to run, then we start giving that gap.
Phil Burner doing the talking in that Canadian huddle. Brock Webster, so like their women's teams, in a regeneration period, young players coming through their academy, finding their way, and experienced coach like Henry Paul letting them have their say and figuring it out for themselves before putting in his 2 cents. Zambia right in this at half-time, 12 all against Canada. Taking their moment on the world stage, but 2 tries for this young man, Josiah Mora, for Canada so far. How the Pool C standings look, Canada would go to the top of the group should they get past it, and that is no foregone conclusion if they win this match yet. Fiji obviously still to play one more. It'll be the final match of our session before we get to the knockout in the evening. Cooper Coates, shallow restart straight up the middle for his players to fly. Mora and Deshaun Bowen both go for it, and they win it back too. Here's Nick Allen again, hit hard as he drives up to the 22. That's great work. Stolen ball at the ruck from Laston Mukosa.
Really good work. They'll be aware now they're a player down, so they're just taking their time. Levels are drawn. They've got to be clever now. They've got to manage the time on the clock until their extra player comes in.
We still have Elisha Bawalia on the sideline in the Sinburn. That kick hasn't found touch though. Handing the ball back to Canada and Coates. There's Mora with them. Mora's got Bowen, who's a real flyer. Kratz spreading for Coates. Burner through the middle. And now they get it wide again to Allen. Driving those powerful frame forward. Lockie Kratz has been heavily involved. Oh dear, Mora collected in the air.
Time off.
He tapped it on. Both players are going to stay down. Mora's popped back up and looks okay.
Okay, stay down.
The Zambian player who came in for the collision. Obviously coming off second best, and Josiah Mora, well, it's nice to see a smile on face. Probably more of a fright and a shock to get something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. He went to receive the pass.
Yeah.
And he took it around, he's landed on his back.
Thank you. So we're talking yellow card, eh? Thanks.
So defensively, he shot up out of the line like that.
Number 1 green.
Because he was the last line of defence, and they are a player down. So he shot up. Equally, probably wasn't expecting the player in front of him to be jumping in the air trying to make the catch.
Melvin Bander, I think,
Captain.
the player down for Zambia.
Captain.
Try scorer. He's in a bit of a bad
This
way.
player, he tackled the red player while he was still in the air. So he's going to go out.
Okay.
He's going to be yellow card, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
He's actually come off second best as well in the tackle. They copped the knee of Mora right to the midriff and
Number 1
chest.
green.
But he's up and about, and that's a really good sign, but he's going to have to sit in the sin bin. So now,
Taking the man in the air.
second Zambian player, Bawalia, is also still in the sin bin, so they're down to 5 at the moment.
Thank you. Push back.
Burner. There'll be numbers to burn here for Canada. And down on the end of the chain is going to be Deshaun Bowen. Too many numbers for Canada. Bowen gives the Canadians a bit of breathing room.
Yeah, easy score to make there. They've got the two-player advantage. It was really good sweep across defence there from the Zambian players. Last man gets into touching distance.
Thank you.
So covered a lot of ground to be able to do that.
Points to 12. Canada go back in the lead. Well, I should say in the lead for the first time, in fact. Zambia back to 6 now. Dwalia back out there. Band of the Sinbin player has gone to receive some treatment as well.
Backwards.
Not back by Humiua. Tidied up by Burner. Canada starting to get their game going now, making the extra numbers pay. A big hit coming across. Bowen didn't see him in his blind spot. Nice and physical from Zambia though, and they're going to win this ball back. Still hustling hard. Kashiku it was.
Was it a knock on by Red?
Yeah, that loose ball that came free. Columba.
That's under pressure. Knock on by Red.
Still be Zambian ball, absorbing a bit of that Sinbin time as well.
Number 8.
That was a hectic bit of defence there.
Your sub.
It's lucky that Zambia can hit so hard and move so well, because they were really disconnected. They lost their defensive shape. It was a bit of a just last-ditch, just tackle anything and anyone in front of you. But look at that chase back there. But it's crucially the work at the breakdown here that slows things down, because you had 4 players in that tiny area, and you consider there's only 6 on the field. That would have meant there was loads of space out wide. If Canada could have recycled quickly, they would have had a try.
All Red.
Oh, Zambia playing behind their own sticks at the moment. A hopeful defensive bomb goes out. Bowen can't bring it in though, and Zambia are going to get away with this one. Knocked it on.
That's under pressure again.
Bit of good luck rather than good management, but you'll take it.
Yeah, feeling the pressure, just wanted to exit that kick, but no doubt he had ambitions for that to have a little bit more length rather than height.
Let's crack on, guys.
Davey Chimbuluku comes on, Chimbukulu, excuse me, comes on, and that restores them back to the full 7. The Sinbin player Melvin Bandit still receiving treatment.
Set. Oh, 4, come in, hooker.
Oh, sir.
Easy.
Hold and yes.
Canada try to shove Zambia off this ball. It's hacked away downfield, and chase will have to come hard as Webster's back to sweep it up for Canada. He's got Bowen with him, one way then the other, and now straight up through the middle. Brock Webster powering forward, little legs pumping. He makes a really good 30-40 metres for Canada to put them on the front foot again. Here's Bowen. Taken around the ankles in a good tackle. Mora comes and plays halfback. Matawaru onto the field as well for Canada. They send again for Allen on the wraparound. Just breaks down with Webster, but he gets a kind bounce. Pull back in field for Allen, and you're not going to stop the big frame of Nick Allen from there. Oh, and he's just clutching the back of that knee and hamstring. Nick Allen tries on the board. Canada in control. A little concern for Nick Allen.
Yeah, he does not look comfortable, does he? He's already got strapping on one leg. Good little bit of interplay. Oh, completely fixing players there. They can just sense how desperate the Zambian defence is, so they can just hold the ball and players will come to them. As long as the support runner is there, then the offload's on.
The infinite conversion seems to be okay now, walking back into position. Well, withstood a torrid time from Zambia, have Canada, and got themselves in control of this match now, 24 points to 12. In fact, Nick Allen will come off, but seems to be striding off and find Fettel.
Time to go on.
beautifully taken in by Kashiku and supported underneath. It needed to be good support. Masabo kicks it ahead for himself to chase. Big frame bearing down upon it. Jake Teal back to tidy up for Canada. And then the support comes in from Webster and Bowen. Trying to work down a very short blindside. Tipped up again. Good defence from Zambia. Not Jake Teal at all out there. Got confused by seeing the headgear. Here's Matt Awaru.
Entry.
Zambia tap and go. Mbawale. Oh, good step. Dragged down by Elias Hancock. Who is the player in 13 with the headgear on. Awaru steps out of one. It's pretty ragged now. The entire bodies, lots of holes to pick and burn it. Phil Burner says, we will get out of here, Canada. Withstanding a great challenge presented by Zambia. 2 good tries for them, but in the end, Canada get home 24 points to 12. Job done for Canada. On day 2 early on, much more ahead for them. And the final group game of the Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games sees Fiji take on Wales. Wales a win and a loss, Fiji 2 wins. That's how the group looks out. A win for Fiji will put them into top spot. Perhaps weren't at their absolute best yesterday, pressured by Canada. Lacking a little of that sharpness that we so expect to see.
Wales have met Fiji many a time on the World Series. But classic Fiji, you might know what they're all about. You try and prepare for it, but they'll still catch you off guard. Such an exciting team, you're never quite sure of what